Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when we realize something profound, something so simple yet so powerful that it changes the way we see the world. That realization is this: time is limited. Not in an abstract philosophical way, but in the raw, undeniable truth that every second passing is a second we will never get back. Most people live as if they have an endless supply of days. They postpone their dreams, hold back their words, and hesitate to take action, always waiting for the right time. But the right time never announces itself. It does not come with a grand entrance or a clear signal. It is not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready. It is now. Think about it. How much of life is spent worrying about what others think? How many choices are made to fit into a mold someone else has designed? The world will always have expectations, but the truth is, you do not have to live according to them. You do not have to chase approval, follow traditions that do not align with your soul, or silence your voice for fear of judgment. The clock is ticking, and every moment spent living someone else's life is a moment stolen from your own. Greatness does not come from playing it safe. It comes from breaking free, from daring to do what your heart tells you, even when it terrifies you. The people who change the world, who leave their mark, who build something meaningful, are not the ones who waited for permission. They are the ones who took risks, failed, stood up, and tried again. So ask yourself, what is stopping you? Fear, doubt, the illusion that you have more time? There will never be a perfect day to start. There will never be a guarantee of success, but one thing is certain: if you do nothing, if you let fear hold you back, you will look back one day and wish you had just tried. Let go of what does not serve you. Follow your own path. Speak your truth. Chase your dreams and live with urgency. Because in the end, the most painful regret will not be the mistakes you made. It will be the chances you never took. Imagine a giant hourglass, each grain of sand slipping through, one by one, never to return. This is life, a continuous flow of moments, opportunities, and experiences. Yet most people live as if the sand will never run out. They waste time on things that do not matter, dwell on regrets, and delay their dreams as if they have an eternity ahead. But the truth is, they don't. Every second passing is gone forever. No force in the universe can bring it back. No amount of money, power, or influence can buy even a single extra hour when the clock runs out. And that is why every moment must count. There is no rehearsal, no reset button. This is it. Most people realize this too late. They look back and wish they had taken the risk, spoken their heart, or chased that dream with everything they had. But by then the sand has already settled at the bottom of the hourglass, what they wouldn't give to turn it over and start again. Yet here you are, in this very moment, with time still in your hands. What will you do with it? Will you waste it on fear, on hesitation, on things that do not fulfill you? Or will you wake up to the reality that your time is limited, that your days are numbered, and that the only way to honor this life is to live it fully, boldly, and without regret? The future is not a promise, it is a possibility. And it is only those who understand the value of time who seize that possibility and make something extraordinary out of it. The question is, will you? How many times have you told yourself, I'll do it later? How often have you postponed your dreams, your goals, and your ambitions, waiting for that perfect moment when everything feels just right? The truth is, that moment does not exist. There will never be a time when all the stars align, when every fear disappears, when the path ahead is completely clear. People convince themselves that someday will be better, that next week, next month, or next year they will finally take the leap. But someday is the greatest lie ever told. It is a mirage, always appearing just within reach, yet never arriving. Those who wait for the perfect time wake up one day realizing they have waited their whole life, and by then it is too late. Look around. Every invention, every masterpiece, every breakthrough was created by someone who didn't wait. They started when they were unprepared, when they had doubts, when they were afraid, but they started. Because the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not even intelligence. It is action. The courage to begin even before they feel ready. If you keep waiting, life will pass you by. The clock won't stop. The world won't pause for you to make up your mind. The opportunity you hesitate on today may not be there tomorrow. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop believing in someday. The only time you truly have is now. Use it before it slips away. From the moment we are born, the world starts telling us who to be. Society draws invisible lines, creating expectations, traditions, and rules that dictate how we should live. People spend years trying to fit into these molds, seeking approval, avoiding judgment, and following a path that was never truly theirs. But in doing so, they sacrifice something priceless, their own life. Too many people wake up every day chasing a version of success that someone else defined for them. They pick careers to impress, make choices to please, and silence their own dreams to conform. They ignore the voice inside that whispers, "This isn't you." They trade passion for security, happiness for acceptance, and authenticity for comfort. And in the end, they realize they have lived a life that wasn't theirs at all. No one else will live with the consequences of your choices but you. Not the people whose opinions you fear, not the ones who told you to take the safe route, not those who laughed at your dreams. You and only you will wake up one day either fulfilled or full of regret. And by then, the time you spent living for others will be gone forever. If you want to be free, you must break away. Let go of the need to be liked. Stop living according to someone else's definition of success. Choose your own path, even if it scares you, because in the end, the only life worth living is the one you create for yourself. Think about all the things you have wanted to do but never did. The dreams you set aside, the risks you didn't take, the chances you let slip away. What stopped you? Was it a lack of ability, a lack of resources, or was it something deeper? Fear, doubt, the voice in your head whispering, "What if I fail?" Fear is the invisible chain that keeps people trapped in ordinary lives. It convinces them that they are not ready, not good enough, not capable. It tells them that failure is something to be avoided, that mistakes define them, that taking risks is dangerous. And so they hesitate, they wait, they let opportunities pass by, promising themselves they will act someday, but someday never comes. Doubt is the partner of fear. It makes people question their worth, their dreams, their ability to succeed. It makes them compare themselves to others, thinking they are better, smarter, more talented. But here's the truth. Every person who has ever achieved greatness felt fear. Every successful person has doubted themselves. The only difference is they didn't let it stop them. Fear will never disappear. Doubt will always try to creep in. But the people who truly live, who create, who achieve, are the ones who act despite these feelings. They understand that failure is not the enemy. Inaction is. The only real failure is never trying at all. So the choice is yours. Will you let fear control you? Will you let doubt steal your future? Or will you push forward, take the risk, and see what happens? Because the greatest regret in life is not failing. It is wondering what could have been if only you had tried. The people who change the world, who leave their mark, who build something meaningful, do you think they were fearless? Do you think they had everything figured out before they started? No. They were just like you, standing at the edge of uncertainty, wondering if they were good enough, if they would succeed, if they would fail. But the difference is they took the leap. Most people spend their lives trapped in the illusion of safety. They choose comfort over challenge, routine over risk, the known over the unknown. They tell themselves, one day I'll go after what I really want. But that day never comes because they are waiting for permission from society, from their family, from their own self-doubt. But the truth is, no one is coming to give them that permission. Greatness is not reserved for the fearless, the privileged, or the lucky. It belongs to those who are bold enough to step forward even when they are afraid. It belongs to those who refuse to settle for an average life, who push through obstacles, who keep moving when others stop. It is earned by those who understand that playing it safe is the riskiest move of all, because it guarantees a life of what-ifs and unrealized potential. The clock is ticking. Every moment spent hesitating is a moment lost forever. Will you choose to blend in, to follow the crowd, to do what's expected, or will you dare to be different, dare to chase the things that set your soul on fire? The choice is yours, but remember this: playing it safe will never lead to greatness. Only those who are willing to be bold will ever truly live failure. The word alone makes people uncomfortable. It is something we are taught to fear, something we are told to avoid at all costs. But the truth is, failure is not the enemy. It is the foundation of every success story ever written. Look at anyone who has achieved something great, any inventor, entrepreneur, artist, or leader. They did not succeed on their first attempt. They failed repeatedly. They faced rejection, made mistakes, and stumbled more times than they could count. But instead of giving up, they learned, they adjusted, they grew. Most people never reach their full potential because they are too afraid to fail. They convince themselves that if something doesn't work out, it means they were never good enough. But failure does not define you, it refines you. It sharpens your skills, strengthens your character, and prepares you for the next opportunity. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is persistence. It is the willingness to stand back up when life knocks you down. The people who make an impact are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. Every failure carries a lesson. Every setback is a step forward in disguise. The only real failure is quitting. So the next time you fall, remember, it is not the end, it is a new beginning, a chance to rise, to improve, to get one step closer to the life you were meant to live. Imagine yourself years from now, looking back on your life. What will you see? Will you see a life filled with bold decisions, risks taken, dreams chased? Or will you see a collection of missed opportunities, moments when you hesitated, times when fear held you back? The most painful regret is not what you did and failed at, it is what you never did at all. People often think failure is the worst thing that can happen, but it's not. The worst thing is looking back and realizing you never even tried, that you let doubt control you, that you waited too long, that you spent too much time caring about what others thought, playing it safe, staying in your comfort zone. The harsh truth is, time will not wait for you to make up your mind. Opportunities do not last forever. The dreams you push aside today may never come back. The risks you are too afraid to take now may be the very ones that could have changed everything. And one day you will either tell a story of courage or a story of regret. Think about this. When you are at the end of your journey, would you rather say, I made mistakes, I stumbled, but I gave it my all, or I wish I had been braver? The choice is yours. But the time to choose is now, because once time is gone, all you are left with is the question, what if? And that is a question you never want to ask yourself. There is only one person in this world who will live your life, you. No one else will feel what you feel, dream what you dream, or see the world the way you do. So why live according to someone else's expectations? Why let society, family, or fear dictate the path you take? The greatest tragedy is spending your limited time trying to become someone you are not, while the real you remains buried beneath the weight of others' opinions. Every person is born with something unique to offer, a vision, a passion, a way of thinking that no one else has, yet most people spend their lives suppressing it, afraid to stand out, afraid to be different. They follow the crowd, blend in, and play a role they were never meant to play, but deep inside there is a voice that whispers, this isn't who I really am. Ignoring that voice may keep you safe, but it will never make you fulfilled. Because true happiness, true success, and true purpose only come when you embrace who you really are. When you stop pretending, stop conforming, and start living in alignment with what truly matters to you. Time is slipping away, and the world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs you, your ideas, your creativity, your perspective. So stop chasing a version of success that isn't yours. Stop living for approval. The only thing you need is the courage to be yourself. And once you do, life will finally feel like it was meant to be lived. Time is the most precious resource you have, and yet it is the one we take for granted the most. We all know that we cannot buy more of it, that we can't rewind the clock, but we often live as if we can. We procrastinate, we put things off, we convince ourselves that there will always be tomorrow. But tomorrow's never promised, and one day we will realize that the time we wasted is gone forever. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right conditions. We wait for things to align perfectly, and in the meantime we do nothing. The harsh reality is that the best time to act is now. The world doesn't stop for you to catch up. The clock keeps ticking. Every moment you waste waiting for the perfect time is a moment you will never get back. The most successful people in the world are not those who had the most time. They are the ones who made the most of the time they had. They took action when others waited. They made decisions when others hesitated. They seized opportunities when others ignored them. And yes, they made mistakes along the way, but their success didn't come from avoiding failure. It came from using every single moment to learn, grow, and move forward. You may not be able to control every aspect of your life, but you have control over one thing: the way you use your time. You can waste it on distractions, fear, and procrastination, or you can use it to create something that matters. The clock will keep ticking, and the question is, when it's over, will you look back and say, I lived fully, I gave it everything, or will you regret all the moments you could have used but didn't? The time is now. Stop waiting. Time will never slow down for you, but you can make it count. As we stand here today, we are reminded of something simple yet profoundly important. Our time is limited. It is easy to forget this truth in the rush of everyday life, to get caught up in the trivial, to live as if we have an infinite number of tomorrows. But the reality is, every moment that passes is one we can never get back. And the question we must all ask ourselves is, what will we do with the time we have? You can keep waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, the right amount of courage. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time to start. The perfect time is now. The time to take that risk, to follow your passion, to pursue your dreams is right before you. If you continue to wait for tomorrow, you'll be looking back one day full of regret, wondering where all your time went. Remember, it is not about avoiding failure or seeking approval. It is about embracing who you truly are, living authentically, and having the courage to act, even when fear is loud and doubt is strong. Those who change the world are not those who were never afraid or who had it all figured out from the start. They are the ones who, despite their fears, took action. They made mistakes, learned from them, and kept moving forward. They didn't waste their time wondering if they were good enough. They simply did it. So I urge you, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let others define your path. You have everything within you to make the most of your time. Your life is your own, and it's up to you how you choose to use it. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time today, right now, this very moment? The time to act is now. Live with no regrets. Live boldly. Live fully, because your time is limited, and it's the most precious gift you have. Make it count.